Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Listen, don't shoot the messenger, but my son was like, Ma, you gotta ask the audience to like the video at the beginning, okay? So please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Today, I want to go a little bit deeper and talk about boundaries, okay, and having them and why they are so important, and hopefully share a few things that helped me on my journey to overcoming having no boundaries to now having my boundaries set and in place. Thank you for being here. Stick around because boundaries being set is definitely a must, or life is going to keep taking you down, and that's going to be people crossing over every boundary line one at a time. If you don't know, this channel is all about healing, taking back our lives and stepping back into our true power, knowing who you are and taking that transformation space to transform your life and to grow and elevate. And honestly, I always thought I had them set, right? Well, some, but not the ones that were really important to my own well-being, right? I was here, there, everywhere, always yesing to everybody that needed me and needed to do something for them in their lives. I was in everybody's lives and not paying attention to my own well-being. But today I want to share why they are so important and why they are an essential. Overall, you should have boundaries in place no matter what. So, of course, it was hard for me to set them, baby, okay? But I realized I had to set them, and you should too. And once we understand and implement these boundaries, it makes the healing journey so much easier. Life will begin to feel so much more fulfilling. And so I started saying, no, not today. Nope, I don't want that. Oops, sorry. Oops, not sorry. I won't be there. Okay, because I knew that now I know myself and I know what those boundaries are. And boundary lines are so invisible that people can't see them. So if you don't have any boundaries set to tell the people, they might not realize that they are even crossing over a boundary line. And so having boundary lines, it protects our physical, our emotional, and our mental being. And when you set those boundaries and have them in place, you feel good about the no, not today. Even more without feeling any kind of guilt, knowing it's for your own well-being, okay? It's for you. It ain't for them, it's for you. More so for them to respect your boundary lines. And quite often, it's the guilt that keeps us from serving those boundaries to those who are the closest to us. So let's go a little deeper with self and ask, what are my boundary lines? What guidelines do you have in place for how you allow others to treat you? And how do you navigate through your own behaviors and your own choices? People will cross over that boundary line. If they're not in place, they'll be disrespectful. They will not respect your time. They will have you here, there, everywhere. I mean, boundary lines being crossed can feel so emotionally draining. It's not good for your well-being because you're everywhere and you're doing everything and you don't have a boundary line to say no. What boundary lines do you have in place? And how do you move through that with your own behaviors and your own choices of life and how you present yourself? Once I realized I had basic boundaries, okay, to the very basic, okay, set, I felt like I had no established limits and not much respect for myself because I was allowing these people to cross those lines, right? But the reality of it is they're crossing no lines because I didn't have any boundaries in place and they weren't sure or know what they were. And so on my own personal journey, I had to get clear that during this healing process, me setting boundaries is crucial, and it's crucial for you too. For real. I mean, family, friends, kids, everybody, okay? And here's why. Remember, we are always healing, right? We're always going through that journey. But while on this journey, it's important to know and to be aware how to protect your own well-being, because healing wounds and trauma, inner conflict, stress, depression, it can all be intense and a very vulnerable time for you right now. And so you have to protect yourself from being overwhelmed and even exploited by family, friends, kids, husbands, aunties, uncles, everybody, okay? Listen, they got to be in place. So I set mine really quick, right? I was like on top of it when I realized it. God got balance with my emotional well-being well-being by regulating those boundaries effectively and clear to everybody. Like, these are my boundary lines, don't cross them. Now let's discuss like having those boundaries in place and how they can lead to you having a more fulfilling life. And I started out by realizing that having that increased respect, it gave me increased respect by enforcing those boundaries and demonstrating self-respect to myself. Okay. And it sends a signal to ourselves and to others that we value our well-being. And having a healthy sense of self-worth fosters confidence, self-esteem, positive self-image of yourself and how you see yourself. Also fosters improved relationships because those boundaries, they foster healthier and a more fulfilling relationship with your loved ones. Encounter with by clearly communicating your needs and those limits, right? We attract people who respect and support us when those boundaries are in place, and this leads to a much deeper and a more fulfilling interaction with them, right? Now they understand where you are, where your limits are, and what your boundaries are. And so personal growth, right, it encourages like self-discovery. By setting those boundaries, we become more aware of our values again, right, our desires, and definitely our priorities. What's important to you should be laid out on the table. And so this self-awareness allows us to make the choices that actually aligns with our authentic selves, right, leading us to a personal, more fulfilling, and even growing and developing internally, right? So that outward is matching it. And so those boundaries empowers us to make choices that actually aligns with our needs and what our values are. And they give us an independence and to take control of our lives, right? To make those decisions that are right for us and to pursue our own passions and to pursue our own dreams and to pursue what makes us happy and fulfilled inside. And so those emotional boundaries promote emotional well-being, right? They prevent us from being overly influenced by others' opinions or their emotions, or whether they have boundaries set or not. But this allows us to focus on our own emotional health, right? Leading to increased happiness, that peace that we need to have, and that emotional balance, right? We're in control now, not them being in control, but now you're in control. So let's touch on 3 techniques that I believe you can use to set these boundaries in place. And if this is helping you, please comment down below. Give us some hearts, some likes, some love, energy, some good energy. But I want you to be clear and direct when setting a boundary. Remember to be clear and direct, okay? It's crucial to express your needs assertively and not aggressively or passively, especially to those who are around us, right? And definitely not in the heat of the moment. But be respectful and make sure that your message gets across to them, that they understand. For example, if you're on your healing journey and you need some downtime, right, and you just feel overwhelmed, you might say, I value our time together, but right now I need some quiet time, okay? I need to heal, regenerate, and I need to get refocused and see where I am right now with my emotions. Practice saying no. You know, you might find it difficult, but learning to say no is so vital, right? You're not obligated to take on everything that comes your way. That's why you're feeling like you need to have boundaries in place, okay? Knowing your limits emotionally, mentally, and physically, and respecting them is a significant part of setting those boundaries, respecting your own boundary line, all right? Be gentle with yourself while you are setting those boundaries and never do it out of the heat of the moment. But let's summarize this by understanding boundaries, that they are essential during the healing process and our overall well-being. It's important that you have your boundaries in place, okay? They help us to protect ourselves, to regulate our emotions, maintain healthy relationships with those we love and those we come in contact with, and prioritize our self-care to reduce that stress, all right? And so by setting these boundaries, we cultivate so much self-respect for ourselves. We attract a fulfilling relationships with those we come encounter with, right? We foster personal growth, and we gain that empowerment to promote that emotional well-being. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that or I'm gone, right? So don't hesitate to establish and uphold those healthy boundaries in your life. It will make a world of a difference on your healing journey and lead you to a more fulfilling and balanced life. I promise you that you're going to feel so much better once you start to set those boundaries. I also hope that this has helped you and that it resonates. And if it does, comment down below. If it doesn't, leave it right here. Go ahead and subscribe if this information was helpful on your journey. by knowing that I have to have these boundaries in place. I am so tired of people crossing these boundaries. I'm so tired of feeling overwhelmed. I'm so exhausted from being depressed. I am tired of people just pulling me in every angle and not respecting that I just need a moment, that I just need some time to just figure out these things that need to be figured out in my life, and to just realign myself with my purpose. I need to realign myself with what I want and what I don't want, what I feel like, what I don't feel like, and actually really what I'm feeling right now. Okay, so again, I hope this has helped you. Don't forget again to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.